Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 131 to 125. The Lakers got the victory in Toronto, but boy, was it not easy. So we got out to that early start, 41 to 19 quarter in the first quarter. Looked like the game was over. Second quarter, we held on, you know what I mean? We were holding on, doing pretty good. The second half, the Toronto Raptors basically dominated the game. They had two 37 quarters in a row, point quarters in a row. You gotta give credit to. I want to give credit to our guys. Let's give credit to our guys first. AD was monstrous. 28 points. I believe it was 12 rebounds or something like that. 27 points, 12 rebounds, something like that. 2 blocks, 3 steals. Just a monster game from AD. Bron was fantastic as well. I believe he walked out of there in the double digits and had about 6 assists tonight. Definitely big LeBron game. Love what I saw from King James tonight. D'Lo bounced back pretty well. I believe he had about 19 points, had 6 assists as well. Austin had 20 points, 6 assists. Got to the line 10 out of 11 times, and that's really where we won the game. We didn't win in the paint. They overpowered us in the paint. They had 68 to our 58 points, I believe it was. Didn't win the rebound total. We lost that shy of 144 to 43, I believe it was. They had like 15 offensive boards to our 9. We won at the line. We shot significantly more free throws than them. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Austin Reeves shot more free throws than the entire Toronto Raptors team. And this coach that we went up against complained about that rather famously last year. So I have no doubt he feels slighted tonight. I think we were, 38 for like 42 from the line. It was rather ridiculous. I believe we shot in the high 40s of 3-point shooting tonight. I think we really shot the 3-ball very well. A lot of that had to do with LeBron James, 5 out of 8 from behind the arc. Rui had an off night, but hit 2 back-to-back corner threes in the fourth quarter when we needed it the most. So give credit to Rui for bouncing back big in the fourth quarter after being highly inefficient throughout the course of the first 3 quarters, going 1 for 10 earlier. But I think the difference for us was just AD and Austin getting to the line constantly. I think AD was like, I think he got to the line maybe for 15 attempts. I don't remember exactly how many he hit, like 12 or something like that. And Austin, of course, 10 out of 11 from the free throw line. That's what we won the game. That is what we won the game. But I don't think we win this game only there. I think we needed more out of guys, and we've got it a little bit today. This was a good Max Christie game. 7 points, 5 rebounds, I believe it was. Did turn the ball over 3 times, I believe it was, but this was a good Max game. And a good D'Lo game. D'Lo Russell with 20 points, 6 assists. Really efficient down the stretch. He hit some big threes. His shot was all good tonight for its swift change, and it couldn't have come at a better time because this Raptor team showed so much heart it wasn't even funny. I was very impressed with the Raptors, man. Jakob Poeltl with a double-double, 12 boards. RJ Barrett walked out of there with like 31 points, 8 assists or something. Just crazy numbers for RJ. He might even have more assists than that. I don't exactly remember what the numbers were, but he was all-star worthy tonight. RJ Barrett he missed the first couple games of the season, but has had 3 of the most spectacular games you could ask for after coming back from injury. I don't think I've ever seen anybody start the season off an injury playing this well in my life. I've never seen it. He's just putting up ridiculous numbers off of that injury. So you got to give him credit. And then Grady Dick, 31 points. That kid has so much heart. Never say die. And then you got Davion Mitchell, so I don't remember what his stats were, but he showed so much heart as well. Defensively, diving all over the floor. Jonathan Mobo, a rookie of theirs, played really hard. I don't think it showed up much in the stats, but he was ferocious out there. That Jacoby Walter did play. I don't remember what his stats was, but I remember him being out there. They just had a lot of heart, man. Jamal Sheed, or is it Shed? I've heard the name pronounced both ways. I haven't yet to hear him say his own name, but his impact was felt out there as well. Ochai Agbaji, all of those guys played very hard, man. Very hard. Diving for loose balls. Chris Boucher. I mean, we're going to see this team in 9 days. And I'm telling you, they outplayed the Lakers in the final 3 quarters. It was because we had such a fast start, which from what I was able to gather, they're prone to do anyway, is have slow starts. And then they get into a rhythm and they play like this. This Raptor team was missing Scotty Barnes, missing Bruce Brown, missing Emmanuel Quickly, and still looked like they just would not go away. They would not go away. We kept hitting shots in that 4th quarter to try to fend them off, and they kept on hitting shots. Grady and RJ just kept going back and forth with shots. Big threes here, big 3 there. I mean, it got to a point it was kind of ridiculous. Like, man, if we miss a single free throw, if we miss a single possession, they're going to win the game. Like, that's what it felt like all the way to the final 2 minutes. What a valiant effort, man. They should be nothing but proud of their team. I walk away with nothing but respect for those dudes. Those are young players, some of them unproven, and they just played great, man. Jakob Poeltl is really playing some great ball, man. I know he's raising his trade stock right now because he's looking fantastic out there. So, yeah, man, I was highly impressed with the Raptors. I like what we did. We fended them off, and I give us credit beyond belief. Anthony Davis playing like an MVP. I love that he got back in the high scoring range. I think I said he had 38 points, close to 40 points tonight. He definitely played like an MVP tonight, and I'm glad he was able to get that high scoring mark once again after having below 30 in the last 2 games, which is still spectacular. But this is what we need from him in order to win games. And obviously, if he doesn't score every single one of those points, we probably lose this game. You know, and so kudos to Austin Reeves for coming back in that second half. I thought at the half that he would not return after rolling his ankle, but he's an Iron Man. And he took some hard falls after that ankle roll, too. Very hard falls. So he just turned out to be one of those durable dudes in this league, and we're happy to have him. He fights his way tooth and nail to draw contact, and he gets to the line, and he helps his team win that way. And I thought he was really, really good tonight, even though he wasn't overly efficient shooting the ball. He made up for it by drawing fouls and hitting his free ones. So big kudos to Austin Reeves. Like I said, LeBron was in rare form tonight. He got us out to that big start, him and AD, in that first quarter, and Bron hit that 3 ball really nicely tonight, 5 out of 8. I like what I saw from the King overall. And he continues his reign over LeBronto. What can I say? I mean, Drake decided not to show up, and I think Bron took it personally. You know, it's one of them type of things where you know good and well Drake would have showed up if they didn't have their little situation where Bron was dancing to the song that was a diss track made by Kendrick Lamar. You know, Not Like Us, the biggest song of the summer this year. And they had their own rendition of that song too for Toronto. It was Drake saying they never loved us or something like that. I had never heard that before. But yeah, that was kind of bold of them to play that song in that way in that arena. But whatever the case may be, man, LA wins again. We took the victory there. They not like us, but they did show a lot of heart. I will admit, I can't disrespect the Toronto Raptors on this night, and I know we're gonna have our hands full in a few days when we see them again. It ain't gonna be easy. I'd imagine Emmanuel Quickly will be back for that one. And it's going to be some of these same dudes coming in looking to make up for what they had here. They know that if they play like that through 4 quarters, if they would have started the game the way they finished it, they would have beat us. There's no way around that. They would have beat us. It was that we had that 27-point lead that we were able to walk away with a victory because we needed every bit of that cushion. And I said at the half that I was concerned that we would give the game back, but it wasn't like I was thinking it would be our starters giving it back. We had our starters on the floor for that entire run that they were on. I mean, they took it back from our better players, not from our bench for the most part. So that was an extremely impressive. You know, I'm not a big person on moral victories, but if I'm a Toronto Raptors fan, that is most definitely considered a moral victory, without a doubt. And for the Lakers, we got problems, man. There's no way you give up a 27-point deficit lead like that to where they cut it to 6. I mean, like, what? How did that even happen? I want to give Toronto credit because they took it from us, But you had to get to the line at an absorbent amount of times to win this basketball game. And you were shooting pretty well. And the problem was we were giving up second chance points, getting crushed on the defensive glass, which was giving them offensive rebounds. And we were letting them score in the paint, which was one of the things I circled saying that we needed to do. You let them get 68 points in our paint. Nah, we need some more rim protection down there. That was unacceptable. Jackson Hayes walked away with 2 blocks, but he left a lot on the board in that regard too. We just got to get some more rim protection going on down here, and that's something that hopefully Coloco can help us with. But yeah, we were struggling, man. We were struggling to defend this team. They ran it down our throats. Guys like R.J. Barrett and Grady continued to hit from behind the arc and from in the paint repeatedly, and they just outworked us. They outworked us. They were quicker to loose balls, and that type of thing really put us in a position where we were in a nail biter when otherwise we would want to rest our starters for this entire second half if we had a choice, you know. And we were not given that choice. They took that from us. So took our foot off the gas a little bit. Thank God guys like D'Lo and Rui were able to hit shots in the fourth quarter. But that wasn't pretty. If you're the LA Lakers, that wasn't pretty, man. And the sad thing was, I thought our bench played a bit better when you consider that Max Christie had a pretty good night for the standards that we hold for him right now. That's a struggle. That's a real struggle, man. Gabe Vincent, listen, man, he had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in like 21 minutes or something like that. 1 for 6 shooting. I'm pretty frustrated there. You know what I mean? I'm pretty frustrated. I imagine he's frustrated not making shots. I don't think his shot selection has been any good this season thus far, and he's just launching threes, man. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of what went wrong was him down there, being on the floor, getting shot over, and then the other end not doing nothing. Just like we complain about D'Lo most nights, that was Gabe tonight. He just he was really a part of a lot of bad rotational circumstances down there tonight. Getting outworked by quicker guards, bigger guards, faster guards, and just launching shots that weren't being rebounded by our team, going the other direction, and fouling. I mean, it was bad minutes, man. 21 minutes to a guy that was struggling. If I'm JJ, I'm pulling back on his minutes, man. He's not going to be on the floor as much anymore if I'm running things. You know, you want to respect a vet like that who's been in the NBA Finals and, you know, played some real meaningful ball with a good, respectable organization like Miami. But for us, he's just the worst player on the bench. He's the worst player on the worst bench. That's what it is. That's actually getting rotation time, obviously. And, you know, for Max to have a good night, Jackson gave us what I expect from Jackson. Dalton had a lot of issues tonight. I didn't think Dalton played a great game. I think a lot of things that he needs to work on were on display tonight. So this is one of those situations where if I'm the coaching staff, this footage tonight, this tape, gives me some direction in what to work on with Dalton. Dribbling left, fast break situations, shot selection. Those were things that were really on poor display tonight for Dalton Connect. And so, yeah, man, when we have these things going on, and then you look at the guy who's been to the NBA Finals, who's making $15 million a damn year, and he ain't giving you jack. There's no upside there. It's not like we got to work with him to turn him into a good player or nothing. He's almost 30 years old or something like that. So for me, I'm over it. I'm over this experience with Gabe Vincent. He does some things that I do like when he's playing well. He could be nice, but I just don't. I personally, as a basketball fan, have no use for guys that don't have any upside, who can't get me nothing in the trade market, whose contracts are no good. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have any use for them, truly. I know that sounds cold, but I don't care, bro. I don't have no use for that dude. If he don't have no upside, you know what I'm saying? There's no learning curve. You just gotta play better, fam. Or otherwise, you are a nuisance. You know? I don't feel that way about no other player on that bench. except for him and Cam Reddish, whom doesn't get any minutes. They don't have any upside, fam. It's either you play well or you're just this. This is who you are. A finished product that's not good enough, man. And I know he's still trying to fight his way back from injury. He missed the entire last season. Maybe these shots fall. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he works his way up to being who he used to be, and it's going to take some time. And he'll prove that if that's what it is. But right now, I don't care to see him out there, bro. I think his shot selection really hurts the team, man. I really do. I think the shots he chooses to take often take away from the rotation he's on the floor with. He's on the floor with Bron and AD, and he's jacking up bad threes. He's on the floor with Austin and Dalton. Sometimes he's jacking up bad shots. It's like, and he's missing all of them. You know, there's something to be said for considering a person who's missing shots and saying they're just missing shots. But sometimes there are guys who take bad shots and miss those. And that's what I'm getting from Gabe Vincent. His shot selection is trash. And he misses all of them. So for me, like, cutthroat, cut and dry, I'm cool. Anytime you want to get rid of Gabe Vincent, you move on from it. I don't doubt that he has some good days ahead. He don't have to do it in my uniform. I'm done. I'm just like y'all done with Jalen Hood-Schifino. I'm done with Gabe Vincent. I don't care to see any more of this. Because at the end of the day, he's an undersized guard who's not particularly a playmaker type of dude. He ain't making other people better, really. It's either he's making shots or he's basically not helping very much. And I think he's a nice connective piece when he has other good bench players next to him, but he doesn't. His bench is no good. He needs to be the best player on the bench. He's the one making the most money on the damn bench, and he's giving us the least amount of production based on the expectations. This is unacceptable. I can accept it from Max, who's developing. I can accept it from Bronny, who's developing. I'm fine with that from Connect, who's his first year. You know what I'm saying? Jackson Hayes, I don't have any expectations for Jackson Hayes. He's not making more than $4 million. I don't care if he doesn't play that great. He's not supposed to. Gabe Vincent don't have that. That's not. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I waited a whole year for this guy to get here, only for him to suck when he gets here, bro. This is Kendrick Nunn all over again. Only worse, because Kendrick Nunn wasn't making no damn $15 million a year for the next 3 years. I'm sorry. No more of this. We got to move on from Gabe. We got to do something to get Gabe and Cam Reddish elsewhere. We need to do that. To improve our bench, we have got to get the dead weight off of it. If it ain't got no upside and it's got a bad contract and it can't, choose good shot selection and it ain't really particularly great defensively, this is stuff that's just what defines our bench as bad. Because the young guys ain't going to play consistent. They ain't going to play well. But if the old guys ain't getting it right and they're a nuisance on the floor, taking shots away from people who otherwise need to be taking them in most situations when he shoots, he needs to be gone. So I'm challenging JJ to bench Gabe Vincent. Enough. Those are minutes that need to be going to either players who we expect to get better or just give more minutes to starters like Austin, you know what I'm saying, and Rui. Seriously. That's how I feel about it, man. And like I said, I know I sound cold tonight. I know that's like, damn, B, you being rough. But I don't care, fam. This is my squad, fam. I've been a Laker fan since I was 9 years old. This team has a chance to win a championship if our bench can play well. This dude is eating up $15 million my damn cap, and he's playing like crap. Unacceptable, fam. That's it. That's how I feel. And he's not expiring. So it's not like I can look forward to him being gone at the end of the season. No, this is a contract that needs to be moved, man. Move it. So that's how I feel, man. I waited a whole year for this guy, and he come back trash. I'm irritated, man. We almost lost this basketball game, and a good portion of the reason why is because our bench is no good. And the reason why our bench is no good is because everybody has to develop except for him, who's playing but ain't getting no better too and doesn't expect to get better. Nah, man. Nah. Hell no. Hell no, bro. Talk about dead weight. That's where we at with that. So that's what I have to say, man. Kudos to everybody else who's playing well. I know I didn't make any friends tonight in the Vincent household. I get it, bro, but I'm cold. When I'm unhappy with something and I don't believe in something, I want it gone, bro. I don't have no patience. That's how I felt about Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel and many that came before him. Guys like Torian Prince. I've had this this song and dance with players many times. And sometimes they come back and prove me wrong. So I don't doubt Gabe Vincent may come back and prove me wrong. But right now, this is where we're at, man. I do not play when it comes to these LA Lakers at all. Almost lose a basketball game to a team missing 2 of its stars. And the reason why is because we couldn't keep a lead. And a good portion of why that lead couldn't be kept is because this guy was on the floor jacking up garbage and getting shot over. No more. It got to a point where I was like, man, I'd rather see Bronny. If I want this type of production, I'd rather get it from LeBron James' son, fam. Literally. So a lot of this is on JJ. You're choosing to respect this guy and let him get his minutes out, 21 minutes to do nothing. This has to stop, JJ. It's got to stop. And it ain't just about missed shots. It's a lot going on down there that ain't no damn good. That's how I feel, man. So most of what I want to do here is not blame one player for why we almost lost this game. But when you consider the fact that we literally needed the whistle to win it, and we had a 27-point lead, and we couldn't even bench our starters at all, I'm looking at my bench. I'm looking at the bench. I know the starters have to do a lot. A lot of the lead was given back while the starters were on the floor, partially because they're trying to keep from getting hurt, mainly because they knew they wouldn't be taken off the floor. A guy like Austin Reeves has to play through injury because the bench is that damn trash. Why is the bench that damn trash? You see how that trickles down? So that's why I'm looking at Gabe Vincent with so much anger, because it really does trickle down that if he was playing like he's supposed to play, a lot of these other problems fall into place. It's not expected for Max Christie and Dalton Connect, young players who need to develop to play better, if he's playing $15 million worth of basketball, fam. Or at least playing decent. At least. So that's my thing, man. Man. That's where my head is. I know we got the victory. I'm supposed to be like, yay, we won. Whew, that was close. But I'm looking at that damn bench and I'm saying, what's the problem? What is the real problem there? The problem there is you got $15 million going into a guy who's jacking up shots doing nothing. And that should be trickled down into different bench pieces that ultimately can provide us a bit more of a cushion. That's your problem. Right there. Because everything else you can't do nothing about. Can't do nothing about guys not knowing what they don't know yet. Young players can't. They're going to play bad, man. Underdeveloped second round guys, they're going to play bad. That's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Dalton Connect, young guy, come fresh out of college. He's going to play bad sometimes. You can't expect him to take over. Jackson Hayes, I like Jackson, but he's a center. A limited center. How much he going to give me? He can't attempt no threes. He's not out there bulldozing people and swatting shots like Anthony Davis. His upside is very, very, very limited. How angry am I going to be at him? He has a limited amount of what he can accomplish. Gabe is the guy. He's the one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is benched. I can't get mad at Cam Reddish. He's sitting where he's supposed to be sitting. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at Bronny James. He ain't playing at all. That's the end of our bench right there. So for me, it's like it's Gabe. It's all Gabe. He got to get better. So that's really what it is, man. Most people played well tonight. Even D'Angelo Russell, I was extremely pleased with how he approached this game. He came out fast, getting layups, and the 3-ball ended up falling by the end of the game. He was getting guys involved, for which he had been doing all season long. So I wasn't mad at D'Lo. I thought he played one of his better games. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And I'm not mad at Rui either. Even though he had an inefficient night, I didn't think he chose bad shots, and he ended up hitting the big ones when it mattered most. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's what it is. That's where we at. And Bron and AD played amazing. Austin, D'Lo, they held their own. I got a good Max night. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. It's just that one thing, and it trickles down to what's wrong with a lot of other things. And so that's really what it is. I want Gabe Vincent moved. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Game ball. I'm going to give the game ball to Anthony Davis. Even though this was definitely LeBron, he came out, hit him hard, got 5 threes. I thought LeBron was spectacular, but I still have to give credit to Anthony Davis, who scored 38 points, controlled a lot of what was going on defensively, crashed the glass really hard, and ultimately got to the line a million times, which is ultimately what got us the win. So I got to give the ball to Anthony Davis, even though I know LeBron did a lot of the things necessary to make it himself worthy of this ball. No doubt about it. So we got a lot from our stars tonight, and we needed it to fend off those pesky Toronto Raptors, who have a very bright future, man. Very, very bright future. So that's pretty much what I got to say. I'm done beating up Gabe Vincent tonight. BDL44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.